Aquarius. You are in the hot spot. The seat, the sign right across from you being Leo. So there is a full moon in your sign coming up on the 11th. And I think this month for you, even though you're in the hot spot, even though there's a lot going on, so far at this point, I think for you will be somewhat of the easiest because you understand something different now and you're coming to an understanding and the light to the understanding of Saturn and what's being brought to you now at this moment. And there you have been patient. You've maybe been waiting for some kind of opportunity at this point, and it says it right in the cards. So before we get right into the cards, I want to share that all my information to work with me one-on-one is below in the description box, as well as the second part to this video, which is when we take a look at the cards, I get more in depth about the signs, the planets, the body parts even that they rule, because I believe that the physical, our bodies are even more intuitive than we give it credit for. So I like to involve that in the reading and in the more extensive side of things, more personal side of things. If you would like to listen to my podcast, that will also be in a link below, and there are two different options of getting available of my availability, to book a reading. Okay, let's go into the cards now. So you maybe have been waiting for opportunities, and one of them or something coming in at first may seem too good to be true. However, that kind of mentality can make you question exactly that. The Queen of Wands is that you've been working hard, that it's in your best interest to be creative, maybe collaborative this month, to really put forth your ideas no matter what situation you're entering now, whether it's new opportunities or an opportunity to become more creative or more assertive in this same situation that you have now. There's a big opening for you, and I believe the full moon is going to reveal that even more, and the closer you get to it. The Queen of Wands, Ace of Wands is giving you that power and that energy to broaden your horizons, and a lot of us are coming into this month letting go of the past, and I think you've had a lot of experience with reoccurring situations, past patterns coming up more than anyone, having Saturn be in your sign right now. So Leo season is kind of a breath of fresh air from you right from the beginning, or possibly from when I put this reading out and after. The new moon probably offered you something even just to begin, and you may get a couple different kinds of offers this month, and ultimately it comes down to what you have room for, what you would like to make room for, and what gives you that opportunity to assert yourself, to bring your energy to the table. It's very important that you recognize wherever you're being stubborn this month. There's a lot of control dynamics going on, I'm finding throughout the readings. So as Venus moves into Leo on the 11th, the same time as the full moon in your sign, you're being given the time to maybe contemplate a little more your next venture. You may not want to wait that long. However, and you're being guided to move, no doubt. However, it may not be like very clear until you decide. There's this like little thing I like to do with myself sometimes, where if I'm unsure of something, I just with myself decide one possibility, and I act as if that is going to be my answer, and I notice what is showing up in my body, whether I'm feeling anxious or I'm trusting it, I feel secure, or I feel doubt, I feel frustration, I feel like that's not it. You just know when you get more in touch with that, and you're a sign that is sometimes very separate from their physical body, sometimes very separate from yourself, but this month is not that at all. You'll feel even more of a connection with yourself because of possibly what you've let go of and what you've allowed to become, what you've allowed yourself to depart from this last month until now. You may feel extremely intuitively guided this month, and there's an advisory to take it. And like Cancer, they just go off of this secure knowing that no matter what they do and the next step that they're taking, whether it be more adventurous or not, spontaneous or not, they trust something, and that usually has longevity to it. So there's a little bit of that magic in the air for you, I believe, more than anyone, or you with major, or Aquarius with major placements, or a person with Aquarius and major placements. Geez, can't wait till Mercury goes into Virgo tomorrow. I think I'm gonna actually be able to find the words more smoothly. So any situation that you've handled from the past, or anything that comes up that feels like a situation that you've handled in the past, you get the opportunity to really take notice by the end of the month. Because with all of this going on, sometimes we forget if we're and don't notice and don't have that wherewithal, because you may be so excited, so sure, so ready, and you're ready to go after somewhat of a time of, back and forth and stop and go. And then there's just, this idea, this very mental, physical, emotional, spiritual change for you, this heading in a different direction. You notice where you've been given the chance to win with past situations. If you bring everything and still have the High Priestess awareness this month, then by the end of the month, you'll have more gratitude. You'll be taking a look at and having the opportunity to take a look at what you don't want, what you do want. And it's more of coming from confidence rather than the universe saying, you need to let go, you need to let go. This is more of you giving yourself the kudos, the being proud of yourself in a way that's important, the courage to win. And what do I mean by winning? The reason why I said this is because I wanted to lead into this. What do I mean by win? So Mars enters Gemini on the 20th, but for now it is in Taurus, and you're still being given these little nuggets of information of how and what has been working for you. And it's a little more blunt than maybe you're used to all the time. So you win because you surrender. You win because you let go. You win because there's this, you're giving yourself the flowers, as some people like to say, right? As of right now, I really like it too, just because I like flowers. But you're giving yourself the receptivity, the chance to receive, the chance to be more open, the chance to, and you're being given the chance from others to do so too, to do more with what you're capable of, to show more of what you're capable of. And it's vulnerable for you. You're very good at taking the lead when you know, and you've set that direction on your own. And there's still other people that do the same thing but do it differently around you. But this is different. This is something where you're in relation to others. And it could be something you've done on your own, but you may have a team now, or you may be hiring someone, or you may be working for someone new in a way that, or you working with someone, the same person, and you're just working and you're given the opportunity to be more independent. Well, this is a great time to do so. This is a great time to take a risk, especially as Venus is still in Cancer until the 11th. So you'll know when that needs to shift. You'll know when you need to say yes to something, say no to something, or put something into action, put something into play. If you allow Mercury and Virgo to give you what you need from the 4th to the 11th, by that time you should be able to just move along and know that you created something or you're creating something within a place because you're able to create, because you're giving yourself the opportunity. You're not doing things the way you used to. You're not in situations where you feel a power dynamic. You actually may feel the power dynamic within yourself, and you realize like, oh, if I just let go of this, if I learn how to deal with this, I understand that I can just let go of this power dynamic. It doesn't actually have to be something I even want to be in control of, like you don't have to succumb to that solution or outcome. You get a chance to take a look at things this month, and by the end of the month, you may feel more prosperous than you have been before. You may also already be thinking of what's next. And you will have the chance to do that and to work hard. And wow, 3 10s. We are playing rummy. The Mars transit, we'll talk more about in the second part, is going all the way until 2023 in Gemini. And it's definitely giving you a whole ass rebirth in the way that you do things, the way that you work. You may realize you don't have to work as hard as you used to. Things are starting to shift now. Things are starting to, again, come into your favor. It's just knowing that you know how to be responsible. So when you could suffer from anxiety, I'm not taking away from anyone who does, and I really feel for people who do. It's not something I experience often, but in this day and age, a lot of us are, and you may feel it more intensely. I think for a lot of you, you're finding that has to do with your psyche. That has to do with something that needs to come out of you, whether you're someone who wants to talk about that anxiety or talk about the struggles that you've been through, or again, create something, take a leap, take a risk, believe in yourself, believe in the power of the balanced sides of you that are both knowledgeable and strong and yet receptive to those around you. Again, being stubborn can work against you in the ways of work this month. So it's about being a little bit more open within work. Within relationship, however, holding your boundaries is very important. And Leo season is going to emphasize that, or emphasize where you need to put up boundaries. But all in all, this month is looking very bright for you, and you may want to hide by the end of the month. Once you're in Virgo season, you'll get a little bit relief from being out in the sun. However, it's positive and productive. All right, Aquarius. Again, information to get the second part where we go into it even in more depth will be below, as well as personal reading if you would like to get in touch with me for that, and my podcast. All information is below for everything, and I'll see you next month.